Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for this week's quick tip, where really all I want to do today is quickly go over the importance of knowing your seasonings and your spices. I was talking to someone the other day about making a rub for chicken, and when I asked them what they use, they said, well, I take a little bit of everything out of my spice drawer, put it in a bowl, and throw it on the chicken. And I'm laughing because I used to do that. A long time ago when I would cook, I would just mix match things and put everything together and rub it on, and then we'd see what it would taste like. And usually it was good, probably really salty, but the flavors were never distinct. And talking to them about this the other day really got me thinking about the flavor profile of our seasonings. And I'm looking at all the recipes that I have written and I am writing, and realize that I go back to the same basic ingredients a lot. And it's really all you need is a few things. Once you figure out exactly the flavors that you like and the flavors that you want to work with, you stick with those and you mix match them. It's really how you create. But it's important to know the profile and the flavors of your seasonings. Simple. But the best way to do it is to try them. So what I did was I did some research, did some reading, and did some tasting on my own to make sure I really know what the spices that I use taste like. And what I came up with is some very simple things. For example, onion powder, and if you watch any of my videos, you hear me talk about putting onion powder in things all the time because it's sweet. It's got this tart sweetness to it that I think really brings out a lot, and it really makes things pop when you're chewing on them. And you get it up in front. One of the first flavors you get in your mouth when you take a bite. Whereas garlic powder, which I also use a lot, while very fresh and very powerful and also slightly sweet, is more of a back-end flavor. I baked some bread recently and I put a lot of oregano in it and mozzarella cheese because I wanted to make like a cheese bread, and I added garlic powder to it, and I only put a half a teaspoon. And when you took a bite of this bread, you didn't taste the garlic at all. But once you chewed and swallowed and let it sit for a second, that's when that garlic flavor came out, and it was one that hit me on the end. And so now I'm mix matching. And I'm playing with other things like tarragon and dill and thyme and sage. And I'm tasting all these, and I'm learning what they taste like and learning what complements and what's a detriment. What I wanted to say this week, what I thought was important was, if you haven't tried the seasonings that you're in your spice rack by themselves, you could potentially be hurting whatever dish you're creating. So take a moment, dip a little bit on a finger, and give it a taste. And you'd be shocked at what you think something might taste like versus what it actually tastes like when it's by itself. The severe bitterness you get from trying cinnamon when there's nothing with it, no vanilla, no sugar, just cinnamon on its own. Or that nutty, smoky flavor that you get from cumin when you take just a little drop of cumin and put it on a spoon and pop that in your mouth. Tarragon has got this really strong licorice flavor. Rosemary has this herbal essence that really, I don't know if it penetrates more in your nasal cavity or on your tongue. I'm not sure, because it's really potent stuff. I never thought about using the word mint to describe the seasoning thyme, but thyme really has a minty flavor when you try it on its own. So if you haven't done so, take the next few days when you're doing your cooking, and before you add a spice to something, taste it by itself and make sure that's really what you want to add to your dish, and make sure it's something that you really like, and shock yourself when you see what you think something tastes like versus what it really does. And that's all. All I wanted to say, I hope you folks are having a fantastic week. I hope you're enjoying this weather. I'll see you in a few days when we'll do some fun cooking. If you got any questions, want to go over anything, questions@lloydrittner.com. I'd love to answer them. I'd love to talk about rubs and seasonings. I'm here. It's fun. You folks take care. Bye-bye.